it's not just the United States that's subject to this unilateral rule. In other words, if they do this calculation, they can unilaterally attack. It's everybody. Which, Guido Calabresi, my great former dean, now the judge, says the cheapest cost avoider is how you solve problems of costs of accidents. Well, what you're doing here is putting the use of force unilaterally into the hands of the least rational calculator. So whoever thinks that they're going to be attacked does this calculation and attacks. Now, if that's so, then everybody else who's responding on the issue of likelihood, which is one of Michael's key criteria, has to weigh the likelihood that somebody irrational will make the calculation wrong. That will affect how legitimate it is for they to do it. Suddenly you have a world in which everyone feels that they have some limited capacity to strike first. Then a lot of people are going to be striking first. Now, why is it better to just have a per se no rule? It's not because there won't be deliberation. I give this example. My son is, he's a good boy. He learned how to drive a car. He loved to drive the car. My wife and I had to go away one weekend, and the question was, should we pre-authorize him to drive the car? And my wife wanted to say, if it's a medical emergency and you have to go get some medicine, if you want to go to a movie with a friend that's, a clean movie, if you want to do this, we pre-authorize you to take the car. And I said, it's better for us to just say, don't take the car. But if I come back and I find out that you did take the car, I want you to be able to give me a good reason why it was so compelling and urgent that you had to do it. In which case, he had to come back and justify it under one of these grounds anyway, but as a ex post facto defense for having broken a rule that we had clearly specified. Now, it turned out, as we found out over time, a per se rule is something that limits the use of the car to real emergencies. And the final question, which is my own experience in this, when Madeleine Albright and the Clinton administration were trying to decide whether to bomb Kosovo, a couple of people asked me, well, are we going to be prosecuted for this before some international tribunal? And I said, well, I'll represent you. I think it's justifiable. You can justify it after the fact. If you've acted, and you've acted in accordance with what seems to be an emerging customary norm, you will not be prosecuted and convicted. Now, you might have to go through some hassle for it, but do the right thing. But don't do it because you think you've gotten a free pass to do it ahead of time. Do it because it's the right thing.